graduation season across the Tri-States, and the Blessing-Rieman College of Nursing held their commencement ceremony earlier this afternoon. 52 students graduated today, 12 of which are the first Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the Radiology and Respiratory Care programs. One graduate shares the journey some of she and her classmates have been on since they got into the program.
Several of us may not have had any healthcare experience coming in, and now, although there's a lot of room for growth, we definitely feel like we've made a lot of progress in becoming very competent healthcare professionals.
And both students and speakers insisted the graduates, as well as those who are still in the Blessing Health program, to stay confident in themselves and perform life-saving work.